postponed this test for about 7 months. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to pass the CSET multiple subject exam. It was one of the most nerve-wracking tests I've ever taken because it is 5 hours long, $247, and 7 subjects. I'm going to go over kind of the format of the test and then what I used to study it. So first, what you need to know is the CTC exams website, which is right here. If you just Google CTC CSET, then you will find this. And there are different subjects, especially if you just want to be a middle school teacher and only specialize in one subject. But since I was doing elementary, I had to take the multiple subject exam. So there are 3 subtests. Now what I want to show you is the preparation portion. I use this a lot for my studying. This just kind of tells you the test structure, but these sample questions and then the sample test, I literally look through all of them. So this is the PDF of the sample test. This is subtest 1. Scroll, scroll, scroll. So this is where you could literally put your answers, but I just got a separate piece of paper and just put the letters of what I thought were correct. I also spent a lot of time on the essay questions, just making sure I knew what in the world I can expect to write. So this is like the essay portion. So this is really, really good and it's actually very accurate. In terms of books, I'm sorry I don't have the book with me anymore because I sold this dang thing. But you can buy it used for $14.99 on Amazon or buy new for $24.14. But really, just buy the used one. It's okay. You don't need a new one. I didn't even use the CD. I just did the same thing. Okay, so this is 500 pages. I did not read all 500 pages, but I did look at every single section, especially history. I needed to make sure I knew the 7 Years' War. I needed to make sure I knew about, oh my gosh, I don't even remember. I first glanced over all of the questions and kind of guessed what I thought was the answer, and then I would look to the bottom and they have the answer key. And so they also show you what kind of answers they're looking for in the essays, and I pretty much just memorized all the types of questions they could ask. And I postponed this test for about 7 months, and then finally about 3 weeks before the test is when I studied every single day for about 2 hours. I pretty much just familiarized myself with the structure of the test, what kind of things they ask me. They also ask a lot about child development. They talk about music, they talk about history. And I studied the most on history as well as music because I had to refresh my memory on music, but history is really hard for me to remember what happened so long ago. So I'll also kind of tell you what I saw on my test. Yep. Okay. So I used that Cliff Notes book. It was huge. I just literally skimmed through the entire thing. I would say for the essays, I would write the essay question down on a piece of paper, and then I literally filled out the essay and I just practiced it over and over again. I think I rewrote what happened in the 7 Years' War like 3 times, and I also looked at the answers to make sure my answers were just as detailed as what the book wanted or what the test wanted. And I will say, okay, so for the frog cycle, I completely forgot about, I started at the tadpole, but it starts with an egg, obviously, and I completely blanked and I just started with the tadpole, like it just came out of nowhere. And I was like, I for sure bombed this test, but I ended up passing. And so it's okay, don't freak out. We don't need to get 100%. And I think as long as you just bust it out, it's like literally just doing your best and showing you put in effort, that the reader and greeter will think this person wants to be a teacher, and I think that's all they really care about. Sorry I don't have the book with me to really show you, but literally this is the book I use and I just skimmed through it. I highlighted sections. It really did help me. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me, and make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.